Welcome to Living Once Twice, a lifestyle design and personal adventure podcast. My name is Justin. Come with me as I'm here to help you chart your course for creating the fulfilling life you desire. Join me as every Wednesday we'll dive into the inspiring guest stories, remarkable science, and useful strategies to help you create the momentum you need to take action towards designing your dream life. Remember, your dream life is waiting for you. It's time to go for it. You deserve it. Greetings all and welcome to Living Once Twice. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. I am very excited to say we have reached the finish line of season 2, y'all. It is crazy. This podcast is now 2 seasons in, 22 episodes in, but y'all know I am definitely returning for another round. As I've mentioned, as a Libra, all about the balance. So we're going to take off some time for some self-care, get some adventure time in, relax and recharge before we start season 3. So I'll be back in the fall around early September with more guest stories, more science, more strategies to help you self-actualize your goals, your dreams, and aspirations, and design a life that you are passionate about living. Now, even with the off-season break, from time to time, I'll still be posting bonus episodes and sharing some other creative projects I'm working on. So be sure to check me out on Instagram at JustinOliver716. And if you enjoy this podcast and the show, please show your support by sharing the Living Once Twice podcast on Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever. And please leave us a review on iTunes and Spotify, which would be really, really helpful. And with that, I want to reflect on this season and share a few takeaways. But before I dive into that portion, it's essential for me to say again, thank you. Thank you to each and every single one of you who have taken the time out of your own day, out of your own journey to tune in and listen. I really appreciate all the support and love you've shown me in this podcasting adventure, the personal stories that I've shared, and believing what I'm trying to do on this platform, which again is activate that pursuit of a fulfilling life and lifestyle of our own design in all of us. And I also want to give a very special thank you to my crew that's been helping me behind the scenes, my go-to designer, Emmanuel. I appreciate you. And also my editor, David, Da Vinci Beats. Both the gentlemen are freelancers on Fiverr. Amazing professionals, do great work. I'll add them to the show notes. And I encourage you, if you're looking for a designer or a podcast editor, they're phenomenal to work with. And I also have to give a great shout out and thank you to, once again, all the amazing guests that have shared their inspiring stories, their strategies for designing their dream life and really turning their own dreams into realities. And I remind you, each of them are everyday, amazing, but everyday human beings like you and I, meaning that if they overcome, and you've heard the struggle, the circumstances, the social constructs, the mental hurdles and gymnastics of just everyday life to become entrepreneurs, to make positive impact in the community, to become and build a more authentic and fulfilling life for themselves, that you and I can do it as well. And I think what resonates with me so much throughout this season of becoming is the importance for you and I to stay true to ourselves, to stay true to our beings. Just as you and I, we can't really love anyone else until we love ourselves. We cannot be true to anyone else until we are true to ourselves and not afraid of embracing, once again, who we are. And as someone like myself who's constantly, just seeking and learning how to live in purpose and in alignment, I know that this living true to ourselves is easier said than done. Trust me, I'm a recovering people pleaser. I have chased pony values, and I've learned that when you do things that are not true to you, that are not a genuine reflection of the real you, it's an easy way to lead yourself to a state of confusion, unfulfillment, and unnecessary anxiety. And with this season's guest, each of them shared so honestly and openly the journey of what it took for them to become and be unapologetically true to themselves and become more aligned with that each and every single day of their lives. And I think about a few guests, for example, Harvey Mills and Megan Brown, who both spoke so openly about the questions and the feelings that they each sat with and asked themselves really the bold question of like, why? Like, why were they chasing what they were chasing? Megan discussed those feelings of knowing she wasn't fulfilled in her role as a flight attendant and she sought more out of her life. And Harvey expressed that after being diagnosed with cancer, he began to ask himself, was he living a life and acting in alignment with purpose? And you two listening out there, you might sit with that same feeling, whether it be your current direction, your job situation, your relationship, just something doesn't align with your vision for yourself and who you wish to be. And I say to you, as shared by our guests, embrace that curiosity. You are not crazy for thinking or feeling the way that you do. If anything, that's a sign of something that you need to explore. And unfortunately, we often don't allow ourselves the space to be introspective, sincere, and even bold enough to just sit in that feeling and examine it. And so I hope after hearing many of our guests share their own self examination stories and journeys, you give yourself permission to do the same because through that process, you will unlock and uncover information and just perspective that will serve you in defining what is right for you versus it being based on the expectations or the opinions of others. And as we continue to lean into uncovering and connecting with our true selves, we'll take another step, and that is to follow the path that it's leading us on, even if we can't really make out where it's leading us to. And this part will require us to get outside of our comfort zone, which, let's be honest, our brains and our bodies do not like because we like our safety, we like our certainty, but it's what we must do to experience the wonderful side effects of becoming aligned with our true selves. Other guests throughout the season shared the small and the giant leaps that they took into owning their true selves and that journey of the unknown. Think about Dre Johnson as he shared and referenced a great Nipsey Hussle song, Dedication, which I encourage you all to listen to. But he shared the line, I dove into the deep end without a life jacket when it came specifically to activism around addressing issues of anti Black racism and injustice through the Black male sharing experience platform that he created. But know that even while taking a leap of faith or putting yourself out of your comfort zone might feel unsettling and even a little anxiety provoking, I mean this, and I mean this from the bottom of my soul. The universe has your back. That is not just some whimsical, sugar coated saying. There is truly a force of nature that surrounds us that when you begin to be true to who you are, you start embracing your gifts and visions for yourself, and you move towards that intentionally. You will be guided, you will be supported, even when you can't fully make out or see the path. I found Paige Galster and Kim Delaporta's story as examples of this, as Paige shared how she went into a conversation with her boss about the transition to becoming a full time entrepreneur, not expecting to receive the support she received. And Kim mentioning that she knew helping others was a part of her identity and then refound her way back to doing that after a conversation with a friend and the support of her community. You don't have to necessarily have the entire journey mapped out. Just start by taking one small step at a time, and brick by brick, the world that you see for yourself will be built. And this brings me really to the last item that I want to touch upon when it comes to the importance of us to be true to ourselves. And that is that you also have to trust yourself. We each have to recognize and appreciate and believe in the gifts that we bring to the world, which come in the form of our talents, our visions, just our way of thinking. And the very fact that you are you is a gift. So please don't be discouraged by those of us on the outside, which could be your family, your friends, larger society. I'm even including myself, that don't see what you see, or when you explain something, maybe we don't get it. You know who spoke about this quite honestly was Antonius Melton, as during the season, he shared the vision that he built for creating a nonprofit to help cancer patients. And he mentioned that there were many that didn't believe in the approach he was taking. And he didn't let that deter him from his goals of creating an organization to honor his father's legacy and support those impacted by the financial hardships that cancer treatment can bring on. Also, TJ Sykes, he's another who shared through his powerful story the importance of trusting in yourself, in your manifestation of your vision for yourself, and how he's instilling that in the youth that he works with. We have to be honest, we live in a world, y'all, that makes it quite the challenge to either be distracted or just to believe in being true to yourself. John Verbosi mentioned in our latest episode that he got caught in the rat race of thinking he needed to work 80 hours a week to be successful. But that wasn't true to his core. But that was, once again, the programming that came from just upbringing in society. I've shared in the past that I thought this life was all about chasing success by climbing the ladder, the corporate ladder or the job ladder, but how that didn't feel true to my core. And maybe you know that feeling of just wearing this mask while also hiding how you truly feel or what you truly aspire to do with your life. And as we're continuing to uncover through this podcast and the sharing of these stories, we don't have to wear that mask. We can all embrace and activate the true feelings, the aspirations, the true nature that lives inside of us. And while trusting in that can be one of the toughest things for each of us to do, because it does require courage, it does require radical honesty, it does require vulnerability. By us activating that, though, we breathe new life into our limitless potential. And we can even have a positive impact on the lives of so many around us. I go back to Monique Ward, who spoke about being shy to put herself out there and share her own health journey. But then as she began to trust in her purpose and own her unique story, it served as such an inspiration to many others to get on track with their health and fitness journeys. And I also go back to my episode with Harvey from earlier this season, sharing details about my own healing journey and how being true to myself required me to open up to my family about sexual trauma that I had gone through. And I was surprised and touched by the folks that reached out openly about their own journeys and how they are getting back to walking their own road after healing from a traumatic experience. So let us all continue this journey of activating the authentic, purpose filled, creative being that lives inside of us so that we can get away from this entire baking it till you make it culture that isn't leading any of us to the fullest, most fulfilling expression of our lives. Now, with that recap said, I want to say that, listen, that is it for this episode and season 2, which I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, please reach out to me on Instagram at JustinOliver716 to share any feedback on the show, ideas for improvement. Just want to say hi. And if you enjoyed this episode, once again, or this podcast, please show your support by sharing the Living Once Twice podcast and Instagram, LinkedIn, or wherever, leaving us a review on iTunes and Spotify. So one last time, y'all, reaching out to you all through the time and the space that separates us. I would like to thank you for your presence and tuning in today, tuning in this season. And remember, your dream life is waiting for you. Go for it. You deserve it. Catch you later on Living Once Twice.